The Napa Valley.
Meeting to order. Ms. Rhonda, thank you for the public that have shown for this workshop. And Ms. Nancy, if you want to do the roll call for today.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Pat,
Miss Jean,
Here.
sorry, Miss Trisha,
Here.
Miss Rhonda,
Here.
Miss Liz.
Present. Okay, ladies, the meeting is called to order, and now I'm gonna give you a few minutes to read the minutes from July 2nd for the approval of those meeting minutes. Okay, I need a motion to accept the minutes for July 2nd, 2025.
Motion that we accept the minutes for July 34th.
There has been a motion, now need a second.
Second.
Thank you. There have been a motion and a second to accept the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Our new business, and I guess all business all in one, is this grant and the workshop to notify the public about what we are planning to do. And with that, I'm gonna leave our city manager, Derek, to explain a little more to those present. Thank you for coming.
And real quick, before we get into that business, there was something that was brought to my attention, and this was at the South State Bank. We're starting now to take a look into it, but the company there, entity removed some large trees. There's some large piles of debris there. Pamela, our code enforcement officer, is taking a look at that. If you want to speak to that real quick, I'd like them to know what's happened.
I checked with Melanie, they didn't apply for a permit. I do have two pictures here. One I took,
Do you want to pass that down?
And then-
There you are.
this one is, an aerial view where you can see the trees that's been taken down past those run.
Okay.
I only have one copy.
Do we know what kind of trees they were?
Most of them are water oaks and palms,
There's
no
Palm
live oaks.
fronds and that.
there is some palms in them, but
There's probably one or two of those.
yeah.
When you say water oaks, you're thinking you're talking laurel oaks? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You're not saying that. You have to nod your head, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Very big tree. So
Two trees?
we do, I don't think we actually know how many, and I haven't been down there to look at it, but multiple trees. We have some possible water oaks that were out, or laurel oaks, and some palm trees. We're just not really sure how many or what.
I went and looked at it,
You did?
yeah.
Okay.
It looks like probably at least the one oak tree and some palms were taken down.
Okay,
You can see where the stumps used to be.
okay.
Yeah, I think there was only one laurel oak.
You said they did apply for permits?
They did not.
They did not.
Two palms, I think, and then they pulled up all the shrubs, because I guess they're redoing all of it.
So maybe now is the good time to inform them before they go any further with other trees.
Oh, sure, and are you gonna be able to do that with them?
Yes.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do. We'll report back. I just wanna let you all know, this just came across my desk and wanted y'all to know about it. We're handling it.
Would they get some kind of a sanction or something for doing that?
with no permit or?
I'm not sure how we
It
would
could,
cite them, but
I could take them to the special magistrate and get a one-time fine up to $5,000.
Wow.
How do we define, heritage tree when it's something like a palm tree that don't get as big? Our definition of heritage is, unusual.
Those are pretty
Answer
big
for me.
around, aren't they? May I ask a question? We
Okay.
have somebody from the public? Go ahead, Pat.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
To the mic.
Okay,
Thank you.
just a question. Derek, she was our old president.
okay.
Not our old, but she was our previous president.
So
Prior.
Prior. Pat Maiden, 202 Oleander, it's scorched earth in front of South State Bank, they just took everything. And I would like to ask, is there some way to get them to plant some new trees? They can plant live oaks, they can plant, whatever, sturdy tree, but it really, they just soon cut them down.
In the typical sense, when someone applies for a tree removal permit, there are mitigating factors in our code that requires them to plant, other trees in lieu of that tree. Pam is gonna, give that information, disseminate that information to the bank
Okay,
and follow through. And if fines are levied, then we will go that route as well.
yeah, okay, that's great. So it looks awful.
Thank you very much.
Are these trees on private property? Well, they are on my main city.
They were on private property, on the bank's property.
So can a resident or anybody cut down a tree? As long as it's not a heritage tree, if they know what a heritage tree is.
They should apply to the city for a permit prior to taking a tree down.
And that's standard procedure for anybody in town, in the city limits that wants to cut a tree, to come and get a permit.
Correct.
I was reading the bylaws or tree laws, and it says residents can take their own trees down.
We're talking about state law.
No, it's an hour or something, whatever.
It is by law.
That's what I read just before I came in.
Welcome.
That's why I'm questioning it, I wanna make sure that I'm wrong and you're right.
And you could most likely you're right. We are going to be taking a look at a lot of our ordinances and restructuring them and naming specific trees. Of course, some specific trees are gonna be camphor and other invasive trees that we are, will allow residents to take, no problem. But I think we run a slippery slope if we say you can take any trees and people are not educated on the types of trees they can take out and they accidentally cut down a live oak. That's problematic and we don't want that. We're gonna create, or modify our current, ordinance muni code in order to, take care of those situational, problems for the future.
Because I know in reading again, that you meaning the city can go into private property if the tree has like 5 different things. Disease is gonna interfere with infrastructure, electric lines, stuff like that. You can go into the private property and take them out, fix them, whether they live or not.
I'm sure that there's,
But that's why I didn't know if it was business property or private property, and they just wanted to cut down the tree they put.
and I'm sure there's provisions in there where we have to do certain notifications, and, right. So we'll discuss that and we'll be glad to work with you as the group to help us facilitate those changes. Thank you, ma'am.
Pam, thank you.
All right, we ready to start our regular business?
Yes,
Okay,
thank you, Derek.
all right.
I set up the clicker, so you should be able to just click.
Oh, really?
Should.
I love it.
I am not IT, so good luck. Yeah, see, I lied.
Maybe I'm not clicking right. It's a cover page. All right, I tried each one.
Maybe I didn't really hook it up, I don't know.
I don't mind sitting down.
Oh, hit enter,
We
Karen.
can do that. I'll just sit here and present.
There you go.
So we were tasked to put together, staff, just a quick PowerPoint on the trees that were selected for this FDAX tree grant. Of course, the live oak, please correct me, how do we pronounce it? Shumard? Is it
Shumard.
Shumard. All right, Shumard oak, red maple, Dahoon,
That's.
Dahoon holly, East Palaca holly, and Chickasaw plum, and the winged elm. What we wanted to do was give the public an idea of what these trees look like, especially around about the sizes that we are going to get. I tried to find photos of ones that are gonna be the caliper size that we're gonna be ordering. They may be a little smaller or a little bigger, depending on the photo, but I tried to get younger trees so you all would see what they would be like when we first get them planted. This is our iconic southern oak. This is the live oak. I will not go into the scientific name because I will butcher them really bad.
That's hard to say.
It has wide spreading branches. Of course, you've seen the live oaks that are very mature. They're beautiful, majestic trees. They can live hundreds of years old. They're an evergreen. They support wildlife. They also do resist hurricanes in a sense here in Florida. But of course, at any given time, trees can go down. But they are a hardy tree. A full-grown live oak typically reaches a height of around 40 to 80 feet. Remember that when we're discussing power lines and looking at specific parks. Also, to the bottom right, you can just see the leaf profile as well. I wanted to include the leaf profile for you all to see what the leaves look like on those trees. This is the Shumard oak. This oak is very vibrant, red-orange fall foliage. It's not to be confused with the maple that we're gonna be talking about, but they do have similar red leaves in the fall. This tree specifically tolerates drought and urban conditions. We are very rural, so we don't have to worry about that, but it does tolerate drought. A full-grown Shumard oak typically reaches a height of 40 to 60 feet. And you can see the leaves down on the bottom left-hand side there. This is one that's kind of similar. This tree is about the same size at full-grown capacity. This is the red maple. This tree, out of all of the ones that you all have selected in this process as native trees, is probably the prettiest and most vibrant. But that color really comes down in the fall and early winter. Now here in Florida, we don't really have huge changes like they do when you get into, foothills and up in the Appalachian Mountains and up North Carolina, Tennessee. We just don't get that weather. So I would say that these would go deeper red as you move probably in the end of September, October, maybe even November before they start really changing. Whereas the other trees up north have already changed and lost their foliage. This tree here would probably maintain foliage most of the year to the end of the year, November, December.
It does shed.
It does shed, yes, of course. Yes, it does. A full-grown maple tree, red maple tree typically reaches, again, 40 to 60 feet. Most of these trees are gonna be similar, the actual trees, gonna be similar in height. These trees are pretty abundant trees and adaptable. It also supports pollinators, which is something that's very important in our agricultural Southern Putnam area, so. This is the Dahoon holly. Of course, these trees do not get as big as the previous trees. The evergreen holly has bright red berries. It thrives in most soils. It also attracts birds. So when we're looking at trees like this, and we're looking at our parks, you have to remember and know people are gonna be in those parks. There's gonna be birds coming in and out of those trees. You're gonna have bird droppings on sidewalks and things of that nature, thinking about maintenance, thinking about public works, cleaning up a bunch of bird messes and different things of that nature. You definitely want to put this in the right place. At a full-grown, Dahoon holly is going to typically reach a height of 20 to 30 feet. Of course, you can see this is a yearling tree, probably a year or two old. Those trees will probably it's gonna triple in that size and create these berries, which again, those berries also drop and can be somewhat of a mess at times. And if I didn't say it already, it thrives in moist soil. And so that's something to think about as we're looking at trees to select for these areas. We are pretty high and dry up here on the hill, depending on where you're at. Our water table is pretty significant. So the next one is the East Palatka holly. This is similar to the holly that you saw before. The biggest difference is that this is a hybrid holly. It does have red berries. This is more ideal for urban planting. So if we did something to this effect, it'd be good for downtown. If you were to do something like this, it wouldn't be something good for the parks, in my opinion. But you can put those in the park as well. The difference between this and the previous holly is that this can grow a little bit larger, 30 to 45 feet in height.
So it's not as messy as the Dahan?
It's gonna be just as messy. Yeah, if not messier, because it's bigger. So once it gets to full grown size, you'll definitely have a little bit more of a mess on your hands.
Walkways and parking.
And I will tell you, this is a local tree though.
Yeah.
This is beautiful and it's from the area. You have give and takes from each one. And
It'd be good for areas where you plant it in the right of way where there's not gonna be a whole lot of sidewalks or foot traffic.
correct.
You don't want the birds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Chickasaw plums, our next tree, this is a small tree. Now, out of all of the trees that we've looked at so far, this one is actually one that they've stated as actually being categorized as a small tree. Small footprint, it has beautiful spring blooms and edible blooms, which is also something that's very nice. It's great for pollinators and wildlife. A full-grown Chickasaw plum can reach a height of 14 to 25 feet. That's supposed to say feet. I'm sorry, I did not catch that earlier. Feet. So, it's definitely beautiful. I think I've told you all before, I love color. I think it adds vibrancy to our city and it would add vibrancy to some of our parks. The winged elm, this is a fast-growing elm with corky wing branches. You can see on the bottom right, the leaf profile. This provides habitat and shade. This is a pretty large tree, full-grown winged elm, typically reaches a height of 45 to 70 feet. And that concludes the presentation for the visual aspect of our trees that have been selected. And if I may, continue. We did a short analysis of the selected trees. The trees listed again, just for a reminder, are live oak, Shumard oak, red maple, Dahoon holly, the East Palatka holly, Chickasaw plum, and the winged elm. The ease of maintenance is relatively, it's a relative term, but generally it refers to trees that require minimal intervention such as pruning, fertilization, and pest control to thrive in each environment. The ideal tree for our rural Florida area would be one that's well adapted to local climate, resistant to common pests and diseases, and has a growth habit that doesn't necessitate frequent pruning. Because I can tell you, this guy is busy enough over here than to prune a bunch of trees. So when we decide what we're gonna do, we need to decide based on maintenance and what our overall maintenance is gonna be on these trees. Quickly, to go down these, the analysis considers each of these trees individually. To talk quickly on the live oaks are native to Florida. They are well adapted to the state's climate and soil conditions. They're known for their longevity and require minimal maintenance once established. They're relatively resistant to pests and diseases common in Florida. Their large size and spreading canopy can require space. Remember that when we're looking at the parks, they require space. And by the time they get that size, none of us in this room are gonna be here, but we should be cognizant of what they're gonna do down the road, right? And while pruning is needed, it's not as frequent as some of the other species. Moving on, Shumard oak. While also an oak, the Shumard oak is not well suited to Florida as a live oak. it can be susceptible to certain diseases and may require more care. Just want to bring that up to light. That was something that I found in research. The red maples can grow in Florida, but they are not well adapted as native species. They can be susceptible to pests and diseases and may require more watering, especially during dry periods. So that's something to think about as well. We do get dry spells in here, even though I will say this summer's probably been very, very nice so far, because I think it's rained almost every day in the afternoon. So very typical, nice typical summer out here. The Dahoon holly. Dahoon holly is a native tree. It's well adapted to Florida's climate. It's relatively low maintenance with good pest and disease resistance. It can be pruned to shape, but it doesn't require frequent pruning. East Palatka holly, this is a hybrid holly. It's a popular choice for landscaping here in Florida. It's also known for its adaptability and low maintenance requirements. It's relatively pest and disease resistant and can tolerate a range of soil conditions. So despite the mess that it could make, it is a very good tree over here. It's natural to the area. The Chickasaw plum. The Chickasaw plum is a native tree. It's relatively low maintenance. It can be susceptible to some pests and diseases, but it generally requires minimal care. I like minimal care. It can spread through suckers, which might require some management in rural settings, which that would be you, sir. So, moving on, the last one is the winged elm. The winged elm is native to Florida. It's another native. It can adapt to various conditions. However, elms are susceptible to diseases like Dutch elm disease, although winged elm has some resistance. Considering the above information, the easiest trees to maintain in rural Florida areas are from the list are live oak, the Dahoon holly, and the East Palatka holly. These are native, well adapted to the Florida climate, relatively pest and disease resistant, and require minimal pruning. And those are the three that staff are recommending as far as a low maintenance, but they are all trees that can go anywhere you all would like within those 7 or 8 parks. And that concludes our analysis of the selected trees for educational purposes in the public.
Eric,
Any questions?
yeah, can you tell the public what parks will that be?
Yes, I can. So as part of, I apologize, I have it right here. As part of the grant, the city identified 8 locations. Is that better? Sorry, couldn't hear me. 8 locations for the planting of the 35 trees. The locations are Harry Banks Park, Colbert Park, Lake Stella Park, and rights of way on the following streets: Grand Rondo, Magnolia Avenue, Orange Avenue at South Prospect Street, 338 Chestnut, the 300 block of Spruce Avenue at Spruce Street and Orange Avenue, and 211 South Main Street.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Does the public has any questions for us?
Well, I'd like to put in a plug for the
Yeah, come
Lowly
on.
Center.
Come on back to the microphone.
That's all. I'd like to put in a plug for the Sable Palm. It's native and totally carefree, except picking up the frost. And it grows fast. And I want to say also about the live oak. I planted 3 live oak saplings 10 years ago. They're big. They grow faster than people know that they get good conditions.
Okay.
So I love that. Well, it sounds great. Thank you. Don't forget the palm tree. Say goodness.
Thank you,
Thank you
Pat.
very much. May I ask, why wasn't the palm included in the original list for
We
the
were part of
request?
that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
It was years ago.
Here's the
Well, it
thing,
was last year. It was,
Oh,
the grant was applied for, go ahead.
Yeah, this is the grant recommendation.
okay, all right, I wasn't sure, I know I read it, and it wasn't part of it, but I think we'd look at that down the road for sure. I think they're very hardy, and I agree with you, they're local to Florida.
Yeah.
And they're very hardy and very easy to maintain.
here's Steve.
Thank you.
Steve Dempsey, 335. Did you mention the square over here as part of a planting area?
The
It's not in
middle
the grant.
It's not in the
I mean,
grant.
I have a problem with this because it's an unimproved vacant lot. Everybody calls it Miller Square.
Are we talking this one right
This one
here?
right here, it's either Miller, I mean, Keith knows, there were buildings bulldozed, it's an unimproved vacant lot.
Correct.
But now it has this cute name, whether it's Miller Square or Market Square or whatever. It's not really anything at all. I mean, put a fountain in, put some trees around it, then it's something.
Right.
I know it's probably not part of this.
It's not.
No,
Yeah.
but it's a good
idea.
It's a good point.
Thank you. And quickly too, we are currently working right now on establishing a grant for implementation strategies of our comprehensive plan that we actually went through, paid for, and have, which includes properties like that. Eventually, those properties will go commercial. And we will have builders actually taking that property and creating something that will benefit the entire city.
So a tree would be a waste of
Money
money.
would be on the city's right of way.
Oh,
We've been in the right way.
Yeah.
For sure.
City right of way. Right, and it's for canopy, for street canopy and
Correct,
other canopy
correct.
purposes.
Another thing, trees that are taken down, we were talking about penalties and this sort of thing. Keith, do you remember the tree that they took down on Reed? This was a heritage tree. Skip Miller thought it was upwards of 175 years old. And the crane that came in to take it down, the daily cost of that crane probably is valued more than the value of the house that it was sitting next to. It was sickening to watch this huge tree, and it was beyond heritage tree. So penalties, when are they coming? I mean, there's gotta be something.
How long ago was that, do you know?
There
Is
is,
that 3 or 4 years? 4 years?
400.
probably about 5 years ago.
I mean, the stump is still there, and it's just massive.
I agree, I think there should be some kind of penalty or
I
sanction.
mean, I know what you're saying, Pat, about property rights. However, you know, when does a heritage tree of that, I mean, you're talking about the future, we're not gonna be here.
Right.
You know, but that tree, in 175 years, these trees that you're planting will be here,
Correct,
and then some moron is gonna cut it down.
We
correct.
need to have some rules.
I fought to keep it. I even paid a arborist to come in and look at it. He said it was a healthy tree. But I believe in 2016, I'm not sure, that the Florida statute states if it's endangering the house, the homeowner can cut it down without a permit.
Correct.
There is a state statute.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
Yeah, so we
I
can't find
think Commissioner Burton said something about the foundation was affected by this tree.
Well, yeah, it was growing right next to it, but they also started rebuilding the house without permits. Well, then they got shut down when Bob Dorland was here, and they paid all their fines, and they brought the house up to date, and then they
Right.
decided they wanted to cut the tree down. And, like I said, I hired an arborist to come in and look at it, and he said it was safe, but that state statute, there's nothing you can do.
Right. Well, the state's stupid then.
Yeah,
The stupid statute.
that's terrible. Terrible.
That was sickening. And it was a huge crane. I mean, the crane was unreal.
Oh, yeah.
I come from a canopy city in Atlantic Beach, and the community coalesced around that cause and to maintain and keep safe the trees and the environment.
Right.
I'm in line with that, and we will be looking at the ordinances to safeguard what we have in the natural beauty for generations to come. We will be working on that. We'll be working with you all to help out with some of those and coming to the public as well. So I invite you, please, to come to my office anytime and let's talk and discuss. And we can roll around some ideas and we'll put, pen to paper.
Okay,
All right?
thanks.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your time.
I was thinking that, whenever anybody comes to town, because I have to do it and I've been paying my bill at the gas office, and people come, paying for all of their utilities to come up. And I wonder if there's not something that we can give them when we give them the gas, like this is your gas company and blah, 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 or that information also, a flyer that specifies that, you know?
What they can do and not do.
Yeah, and that we are considered a US tree, you know,
City USA.
city,
Yeah.
and we are proud of that, and please do not do anything without consulting. I mean,
I think we are currently in the discussion on changing a lot of aspects of the city's website. Part of that is resident outreach and our residents here and oncoming new residents as well, having that information at the tip of their fingers, especially whether it's on their phone or laptop or tablet. We're going to go in and redo our website and make sure that we have that information there. We can do some of the things and outreach through the building and doing that, adding that information. We're gonna be using QR codes and a couple other things that we'll be able to get that outreach out to people.
and it just came to my mind when I first came to town and joined the Historical Society. Miss Cherry Register has, like back in the 1800s, 1900s, you know, we were known for a tourist attraction here. And, we have all kind of postcards with the old oaks and the carriages, and maybe put something like that as a flyer so they see where we coming from, you know, the pride of the trees. When I first came to town, nothing was given to me. I've been here 3.5 years. And then me walking around and talking to people, I talked to a gentleman close to my house, and he complained that the town cared more for the trees than the people. And I'm like, wow, I never heard that before, a town caring about the trees.
I love it, I love it. I like I said before, I come from a tree canopy city, being in Atlantic Beach, and it's a beautiful beach. If you drive eastern Duval County, you have Jack's Beach, Neptune Beach, Atlantic Beach. Atlantic Beach by far has the most beautiful trees, and they have for years protected those trees. And for how beautiful Atlantic Beach is with their trees and their heritage trees and live oaks, they got nothing on Crescent City. The trees here are majestic, and I think if the people there came here for the weekend to check out our Three Bananas and our lakes and our life between the lakes, they would absolutely be in awe. Our trees here are something special, and we should do everything in our power to protect them.
And Derek, me walking around, I go, my neighbors wanted a basketball park, because the lady said, I don't want my kids walking to any of the parks. Me not knowing anything, I came to the first city town hall meeting, and I go, my neighbors want a water park and a basketball hoop park, and they go, the mayor, Ms. Gomez, we have like 9 or 10 parks, and I didn't even know that, so I started driving around, and we do, it has some beautiful little parks.
We do, and they're gonna get better.
Well,
Okay.
Christine.
Do you all have anything for Keith? He has to go to another meeting.
I don't, you have anything for Keith, Jean?
I do.
No.
You love him so much?
My trees.
There's still parking on the grass and still Lion Park, no parking sign.
Yes,
We're at-
ma'am.
I miss them.
Really?
Eva Lions?
We're still watching them
Eva Lions,
Eva Lions.
drive all over the park, so,
yeah, we're still working on it, but,
okay. I'm just concerned about the irrigation system,
well, that's in the works too.
not to mention the grass, the
But
trees.
I think it is working, but I don't know if it's exactly working right,
Yeah, we'll keep driving.
but
Don't you have those half signs that you put on the ground, it says, no traffic allowed beyond this point? I think I've seen a few there.
there is on Main Street.
Oh, gotcha.
And they're on the wrong side of the sidewalk. They're on the wrong side, yeah, they're not far enough, they're not close enough to the street.
Yeah,
So
that's,
people park between the street and the side.
but there's, no, she's talking about her house off of,
Myrtle. Okay.
but I just wanted to say too, that, the guys are installing the Tree City signs right now.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are being put up
Great.
today.
Thank you.
Before you leave, could I just ask, because we were gonna do old business, the containers? I don't wanna worry about them, but is the irrigation working correctly on those? I don't remember how many there are.
Derek, were
Tell me
you
the other
able
one.
to check Ace Hardware?
Check on those, right?
Jason checked on it, but I'll have to find out what he said.
Okay, we'll get back to
Do
you.
you check Ace Hardware? Do you have a chance to check that connector now?
Not yet, but we will, because his guy was supposed to check on it, and I'll be honest with you, we have so many things going on. I probably dropped the ball on reminding him about it, but we will get on that and we'll make sure that we check it. There should be a timer, there should be a valve, some other things, we'll get it taken care of.
We've been lucky to be raining a
Yeah,
lot.
exactly, I was
And I
gonna
go
say,
and prune them every so often.
Thank you
take
very
all
much,
the old
yeah.
stuff.
luckily, we have been getting good rain. Yes, ma'am?
I had one question about the grant. I don't know if you need to be here for this or not, but, I couldn't remember if we, resolved whether the city is gonna have to do the installation or whether we can contract that out.
Yes, we did resolve that. The city will be doing the installation. Our guys will be doing the installation and the watering. That's part of the grant. The other thing that I verified through Christina, she verified that actually today, was on the RFP. There is no need for us to do an RFP. We can direct solicit to local vendors, and we were told that from our grant point of contact.
And that's for the tree.
And that's for purchasing the trees, correct. And 35 trees at, I think it was 35 bucks, puts us right at like 1,035. We'll see if we can get a good deal on them in bulk and see if we can max out how many, maybe we can get a couple more. That'd be great, but our minimum, what we need to do is a 35, that's what's been accounted for, and that's what we're gonna do.
Okay.
Thanks, Keith.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's pouring rain.
I know.
We've been lucky, it's been happening every day, it's beautiful.
Anybody has some input from the public? No, you are my board. What do you want? Yes, Ms. Pat?
Do we have a list of the trees that we, figured out last time at the meeting, on the 10th? About what we submitted to the
That's the,
commission, the trees we want?
that's these, and
Now,
Yeah.
is that in here?
That was these. that we
Yeah.
just went through.
Yeah.
Right.
5 of
Came up
these.
with 3 that they preferred over the rest.
Only based on the information that we found in our due diligence. You know, what's resistant to disease, what's the easiest to maintain, what's best for our soil. The 3 that we came up with the recommendation was the live oak, the Kahuna holly, and the East Palatka holly.
Yeah.
Those are gonna be the most sustainable
The 3
trees
ones
here.
that we
Yeah,
used.
yes, correct. Now, you all in the public can choose whatever you want. That was just our recommendation based on the information that we had. All of those trees are gonna be beautiful here, and all of them are suitable depending on where you put them. Some are a little bit better than others, and that's something that the public would have to decide. And I would assume in today's meeting that you would have some sort of straw vote from the public on what they think based on the grant that we had. We have to do the educational round, which this is the second. I believe you all already had one.
No, this will be our first.
This will be the first. And I want to say that we only needed one.
Okay.
But I will get back with Christina on that to make sure. I think we only needed one. And at this time, we gave the presentation to the board of the public. We have to account for, in this scope of work, the number of people that are attending. So we have, okay? And then the next is to purchase the trees once the public has a say on what trees they would like.
So should we give them some paper and some pens and let them?
Or they could tell us, does anybody live on any of those, in any of those areas where there, any of those streets that we mentioned?
Besides the parks?
I know where you live.
Gonna water the trees.
Huh?
Trees need water.
We'll water them.
He's gonna get a water truck. That's his dream,
There's
He
something by the
mentioned-
school called the Mace Tree. It was a, you
Yeah,
remember the Mace Tree?
right.
I believe Commissioner DeVito was supposed to water the tree. She went to Chicago like she always did, never watered the tree, and it died. $450.
Water supply.
There was a hose
Yeah,
by
but
the
it's
school.
locked up.
Yeah.
This is a new
What
season.
I'm saying is, it's grade, 35 trees, 35 dead trees.
I think it was mentioned the water bags,
And we're gonna,
the donut style.
we're gonna make
real-
sure that we bag them properly, so they'll have some
5 gallons
of
in.
water there.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, I am gonna request, it's a very tight budget year. I know y'all probably been watching, we're getting ready to get into our budget season heavy.
Mhm.
I've cut a lot of money out because it's just not there. It's hopeful that we can have some of these things, but realistically, we're gonna have to go a little bit without and make do with what we have. But one of the things that I would like to get this FY coming in October is a water wagon. The water wagon will allow us to fill up. It comes with an engine and a sprayer and everything for pressurizing the water. But it's 500 gallons. It allows us to put it on a trailer and go to these trees and other new plantings or grass areas that we put in and water them. Thank God, we have had a lot of rain. However, by the time we get these plants ordered and planted, we're gonna be at the end of our rainy season, moving into fall.
Yeah.
That's just the honest truth of it, right? But I understand what you're saying, and we're cognizant of it, and I will make sure that I stay on Keith and anybody else involved with making sure they get
Well,
water.
it takes effort.
It takes effort,
You
yeah.
know, I mean, my wife and I used to take care of the plants here, and there were planters. The tree, there's a Christmas tree in the park,
Mhm.
right up front. I watered it every 2 days for a year and a half. That's why it's still alive. There were 4 dead ones before that.
Right.
So it takes effort.
It's very crucial at the beginning, that effort until they take, to water them. I mean, that's just, they've gotta take. So I appreciate that, and we will do our best to make sure that those are maintained and watered.
Thank you, Derek. I think with your knowledge from where you're coming from and being a cannabis city, you understand our pains
Oh, yeah.
and what we want, and it is the same in everywhere in this little town, you know? We have 5 people that showed up. We don't have volunteers. And many groups are, you know, of these clubs, they dying because they don't have a lot of volunteers and members, so, takes an effort, like you said,
Yes.
and we are here to help too. We just not here to sit down and just, you know, we are part of that effort,
Right.
so.
Right.
That's all I can say. So how my vote?
The final decision comes from the commission or from the tree board. Which we want, what trees we think is better after analyzing them, researching it, where they go.
Well, the only thing
Just suggest to the commission and the commission decides.
I believe you can make your final suggestion, your final recommendation, and then I will bring it up to the commission.
I'd like to hear from our guests.
Would that be presented at a commission meeting?
Yes, it would be.
So the
And-
public could have
and-
more input at that point.
They could.
I think, this is my opinion, we should have one more get together, put it again, and at that time, maybe these guests can go to these locations and look. Because now we talking about height, girth, and all that stuff that has to be taken in consideration.
Well, if we do have another meeting, we should do it soon because we have to.
We have 7 months.
Yeah, we wanna get the time,
Yeah.
put out the order for before it gets too cold.
Yes, there is a timeline, and I believe that the cutoff, we have to have these trees put in by January 31st of 2026. That is the deadline for completion.
Is
Now,
that a
there's no
season of
stages.
growing for the state?
I'm sorry,
I mean, can you grow trees in January? You can, okay.
you can, I mean, our weather here is pretty good year round.
The roots are
Ideally, we would want to plant earlier than January.
Okay, gotcha.
Because we are gonna get, possible freeze
Yeah.
in January or February, but ideally, the weather here would sustain it, but we would wanna plant those within the next couple of months.
Okay,
Yeah.
But they won't.
Yeah.
It's not the people's.
Is that something?
Oh, yeah.
yes.
So you had a list, Chestnut,
Yes, sir.
North,
I've got 338 Chestnut. I've got Grand Rondo, Magnolia Avenue.
Which Grand Rondo, east or west?
It would be east. And Orange Avenue at South Prospect Street, 338 Chestnut, and 300 block of Spruce Avenue at Spruce Street,
so these are in front of people's homes in the.
Some of them are.
in the right of way,
Some,
Yeah.
in the right of way, 211 Main Street.
okay.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned Colbert Park. I mean, it almost seems like maybe there should be a walkthrough. Colbert Park is a drug park. Why bother?
Where's Culver Park?
It's by Haley's Landing. It's infested. Everybody knows it. Why bother? Why waste a tree?
Because we're gonna make it not a drug park.
I hope you can. I truly hope you can.
There was a
Because
grant,
this could be a fantastic place.
It's
that
a
needs
beautiful,
to be
it's
cleaned
a
up.
beautiful park.
It is.
We have plans to clean it up. There are master plans for that. I think that, ultimately when we get the budget, the fencing will be taken down. The fencing will be replaced with beautiful, black iron fence, historic looking. It's gonna be beautiful. The park itself with the equipment, we're working on this year, with the state for some grants, to update the equipment in the park. I'm working with the sheriff's office to put in cameras at all of the parks in order for them to keep the park safe. And we're also gonna be putting in adequate lighting as well. So I understand what you're saying is the first park, the absolute first park that I saw when I was doing my roundabout with the city, and I'm like, what is going on over here?
Right.
I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous, but not gorgeous, right? You
Correct.
understand? Okay.
But right near a middle school, or the
It's
elementary
right
school.
near the elementary
Which
school,
is like disgusting too.
Correct.
You know.
Correct, so but it is in our forethought, we are going to get it done and take care of it. I hear what you're saying and I understand of the issues that are there, but I think putting trees and making the changes little by little will make sure that we change, the outcome there.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks. But I
And
guess
for the
I would
neighborhood to
think a
be proud.
walkthrough would be interesting if there was like.
And I will tell you that, the sheriff presence there, has been growing more and more where they are utilizing the parking space there to sit and wait for call.
Good deal.
Okay, so people see them there. I've requested this from our commander.
Right.
And so those things are happening and I drive it every day when I go to the Crescent and get coffee.
Mhm.
And I look and we have things that we have discussed with them, implementing, and authorizing them to enforce state statute with regard to trespassing for people so they don't sleep at the parks. I mean, we are working on every bit. It's gonna take some time, but we'll get there.
Oh, I know, we've been here 8.5 years.
Yeah, we'll get
Waiting
there.
patiently.
We'll get
It
there.
sounds like you have a plan,
Yes, sir.
so.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
So today I went by Harry's Banks Park and it's looking really good. It was, I've never seen it so good. There was no trash, the new playground was there, the grass nice and cut, so thank you.
I wish Keith was here. I'd give him the hoorah on that one.
Yeah, it's looking really, really good.
Good. I'm glad to hear.
I have a question about that park. Does anybody know, maybe Steve does? Was that man-dug retention pond in there, the thing that's
It's a
fenced?
sinkhole.
It's a sinkhole, because it's fenced off. And it's very ratty looking.
Skip Miller had stories, they used to watch things disappear, cars, refrigerators.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. It is on the docket for a new maintenance plan
Okay.
for Public Works to get in there and make sure that gets maintained. I think it was an eyesore. The water could be beautiful. We need to clean everything up.
Mhm.
Eventually, we'll end up putting in a spray fountain in there, maybe with some lights,
Yeah.
and maybe even a dock. We've got to get past this budget year. We've got to create some revenue because we need the money. It takes money to make it, and we will slowly get there. We do have plans in place.
I have another maintenance question.
Yes, ma'am.
Lake Stella, there's a lot, when you sit at that bird, what is that bird watching thing called, bird watching thing?
Oh, you're talking about the wooden chase there?
Yeah, there's a lot of invasives at the shoreline, a lot.
I have seen some invasives there. That area is actually, it is well, it's a preserve, if you will.
Right,
It's been
it's got
deemed a
invasives,
preserve.
yeah.
Yes, it's got invasives, but it is preserved. There may be issues getting in there to get things clean where we may upset people that don't want it touched at all. So we have to delicately work on that. I think I'm gonna have an environmentalist come in and look at these things from the state and tell me on documented paper what is invasive and what needs to go in order for us to clean it up and make it better. I don't wanna touch it until we have that, okay?
The little island out there has the invasive on it too.
It does, but again, that's also an area where a lot of wildlife, particularly, birds flock. And I don't wanna disturb any nesting or any other things going on there. It's something that's delicate and I wanna get, Florida Department of Environmental Protection involved. I wanna get, our law enforcement, wildlife law enforcement involved. We get a team of stakeholders involved to make sure that if we have a plan and what that plan is gonna be, that it takes everybody's, issue into consideration before we touch it.
How soon is that gonna be? It's not gonna be 10 years down the road.
No, I don't do things like that.
I hope not. So, I think you have given a lot of information. My thought was maybe next month, after our board meeting or before, we can have another get together and call it.
Can't we decide now? I mean,
That is up to you all. You've had your public meeting.
yeah,
You can decide what trees to move forward with. In the interim, if you all want to reach out to local nurseries and start soliciting the actual estimates, you can do that, and you can solicit them for the estimates, that's not a problem. We can get 1 to 5 to 10 to 20, whoever you wanna go with, but we need the price and the cost for the 35 trees. And we can facilitate all of that later, but you need to have it in writing. And if you're gonna have any pause and have another meeting, the next step would be getting cost for those trees. And it would be just for the trees and delivery. Trees and delivery.
I learned from that tree webinar that we didn't watch, that certain grants require the trees have to be Florida fancy quality.
There
Does
is
this
a
one have
quality,
that?
there is a quality, but that is gonna be for you all as this board, as this committee to go into
Mhm,
and make sure that they adhere to those
That.
standards.
yeah.
Ultimately, you're going to select who we purchase it from.
Mhm.
The staff is not gonna select that, that will be you all to select who we purchase from. And you know that we have a budget, you know what our budget is, and so that's up to you all.
So, for that, we cannot get together and do like a trip and go over there and look at the trees and ask for prices as a board, could we? Or it will have to be one delegate and,
It would have to be one delegate,
okay,
and you can call me and I can go with you,
okay,
I like field trips.
okay.
And I'm gonna think that maybe our selection might depend on what is out there that looks, that's a Florida fancy.
And, my question next is, we have a couple of nurseries, local,
The native guys out there, I think that's where she got the estimate
okay,
originally for the grant.
so that's the one that we need to go.
Well, no, we don't have to shop with them.
There's other tree places around, I know we have that one, we have Midnight Farms. There's a few of them that we can get estimates from and see who has the best deals.
Does anybody know when when the trees were planted in Eva Lion?
Who they
They
came
were
from,
oaks? Yeah,
I don't know. That was before my
I
time.
think it was before Keith,
Keith would
wasn't
be the person that probably would know.
He said that was before him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Steve, do you know?
Keith seems to know everything about everything.
Yeah, and I will tell you this, even though we're not gonna put out the RFP, like, you need to give the same information, just like the standard that you're talking about, to whoever you're getting, solicit for a proposal,
Mhm.
to make sure that you are getting apples to apples, okay?
Mhm.
The other part of it, is that, at usually the state, the city, it's always low bidder. So you're, we're gonna go with that low person, that's how it's gonna work, when you guys do get the.
So we
those numbers.
still need to check with like 3 different nurseries
At
or
least,
something.
at the
just to have a
least.
comparison.
Yes, ma'am, at the least.
You can check, I'm not sure if Bloomers were down, in what is it?
they're
Satsuma or
retail.
Sam- I don't know if they do trees,
We're
They may
looking
be
for
able,
wholesale.
they may be able to order them though.
yeah.
Yeah, but that's gonna be a retail price.
Well, not when you're buying 35 at a time,
And
and
if
you
you
might be
wanna
able to
know that
get.
it is for a city,
Right,
With a
they
grant.
may be able to
Yeah.
give you their wholesale pricing and still make a little bit of money, so.
their address is in San Mateo.
it might be, I'm not sure, I get confused where the lines are for the little towns headed that way.
Pat has its comment.
Pat, come up to the mic. They should too.
Did you mention Perez down in Seville?
Perez Nursery, yeah, that's another
Okay,
one,
that's
yeah.
good. And there's a humongous nursery before you get to Seville, the one on the left at Robinson Road, and they have an office now.
That's Midnight
Midnight,
Farms.
Okay, they're local.
Thank you.
Okay, so I have Native, Midnight Farms, Bloomers, and Perez.
Perez.
Perez?
Yes, it is, Perez.
Perez. Do we wanna take turns with Derek, going with him, he coming with us?
He's gonna have 5 field trips. I'm sure he's ready, right?
Or on one setting, we can visit 2,
I mean, if you select 3,
3?
so one person can send emails to these companies, get their contact, or call. Give them the scope, give them the type of trees. And how I would do it is, since we haven't selected what we're getting, I would get the price of each tree, a cost for each one. And let them know that there's gonna be 35 total that'll be purchased. We don't know how many of one or the other. It could be 20 hollies and it could be, 15 oaks. We don't know. But you need a price for each tree delivered to Crescent City. That's it. And then give them the standard to which that tree has to meet. And give them the size caliber, 2 to 4 caliper trees. I don't know what gallon size that is, but either way, you may look that up and include a gallon size, but it's gonna be a typical, size for that caliper tree. And then once you get the proposal, you can see who the lowest are, but then at that point, you can make time to do a field trip to go physically look at what they have, but you're gonna have to ask them ahead of time if they have any of those in stock, or if it's something they have to order. Because there's no reason to go do a field trip if they don't carry those trees already in stock. We wanna go to people that are very familiar with those specific Florida trees that have them in stock.
So what if we end up, to get this variety, we have to use different nurseries? Is
I
that a doable thing?
I don't see that being a problem, but again, it all has to do with price. You're gonna have to get cost for the
Like,
trees.
'cause Perez might have the best price on the live oak, but maybe not the wing down, they might not even carry the wing down, kind of thing.
I like your thinking, but I don't know if it's a one-stop
Complicated.
shop or not. I'd have to get with
Yeah.
Christina to make sure. It may be where we have to get from one
Okay,
individual person.
okay,
or
well, it might be
entity.
tough.
Yeah.
Steve got a point.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you so much.
Spud's Farm, right at 207 and 206.
Yeah, I've been there, I didn't find they had a very good selection. I don't know, you did, I did.
We did,
Yeah,
they were pretty reasonable. What about just Lowe's?
because they're not wholesale. And we get wholesale price, right, we're a city, we
Yes.
should get a wholesale price, which is,
Usually dealing with
Yeah, that's how it
wholesalers
works.
like that, you get a lot better
well,
pricing.
yeah, it's definitely cheaper than retail.
Yeah.
And Lowe's isn't
I don't know,
usually
when we
very
were doing
good.
flowers here, they would say, take the whole rack, $20. I mean, we get 100 plants for $20 back in the day. It's crazy.
Right, have you noticed prices of plants have really gone crazy?
Okay, so I think we should each pick a farm and do the calling and then send that information to Nancy when we do the pricing
That's fine.
and the calling. And, I don't know, what is gonna be the next step, how to select them or how many of each, but at least we can start with the pricing. So we'll have that information for our next meeting when we get together. And, maybe at that next meeting, we can, this is what we want and let's go for it.
I would like to suggest that everybody looks at the locations. That way you'll know whether this can take a live oak or not, or is it gonna need something like the East Palatka holly?
Yeah.
Or is it in a confined area and maybe the Chickasaw plum would be a nice accent, because it's not really gonna be a shade tree. Look at those kind of things. So there's a lot of power lines.
I love that plum tree as
It's
an
pretty,
accent,
yeah.
it's very pretty and, you know, it's a very
There's a
nice
lot of
tree.
power lines out there.
There is. So, we gotta think about the future, what it's gonna look like.
You don't want Keith to have to, of course, he might not be here either by the time that live.
Yeah.
So,
needs to be
so
trimmed.
Trish, Rhonda's not here, but, we should wait for her.
I missed her leaving.
She's in the restroom.
Okay, she scooped it out.
I think that's our homework to each one of us, pick one of these nurseries and then also visit all the sites and give our vote to Nancy. What do we think? Give it to her and then she'll file that information. You can do a little spreadsheet or something of what everybody thought it will work. And if the public has any idea, bring it by to Nancy. This is closed, but you can go to the gas office there and ask for Nancy and, they'll let you see her. If you have any input from here to next month. Okay, so I'll take native. Liz. Trish, you wanna take anything?
I have a situation, I will not be able to participate.
Okay.
Going,
Okay, got it.
anyway.
I'd really like to do it with somebody else. I can do the one in Seville, I guess.
But we're gonna be calling first, we're not going nowhere, we're gonna be calling, we're gonna do it interactive.
I we don't know exactly the information to give them then.
Okay, so he said, get the price for each tree, let them know it's 35. And if they deliver to Crescent City, and I don't know the last thing you guys were talking
The
about.
standards.
The
Florida
standards.
fancy, it's a Florida fancy. It's the toughest grade of
Okay.
a tree. And the
Florida
caliper is
fancy.
supposed to be.
So that's
two
what
to
it's
four
called.
inches.
Yeah, I believe it's 2 to 4 on the caliper.
You could just ask them, you know, but typically that's what it's called, and we're looking for the 2 to 4 inch calipers
Okay.
in a tree.
Okay, Rhonda, we decided that, we, out of these 4 nurseries, Native, Midnight Farms, Bloomers, and Perez. You okay? Yeah. We are gonna call them and ask this information that Derek gave us about the type of trees,
Right.
the price, that we want 35, how many of it each if they deliver, and the Florida fancy thing, 2 to 4. So if we each pick, you know, one nursery to call, we'll send the information to Nancy, and then when she has all that information, maybe we can do road trips with Derek. I mean, he can let us know what is his schedule.
I think once you all get the proposals in, we can review those proposals. We can see who is established as the best proposal,
And then
right?
we'll visit.
And then we can go look at that.
Okay, that will be the next step.
Sure.
All right, do I need to do one?
And
Yes, what would you like to pick? We have, Midnight Farms, Bloomers, and Perez.
Bloomers.
Bloomers, okay, that's Rhonda.
We have a relationship.
Oh, good. Who wants Midnight Farms?
I'll do, I never heard of them, but I'll look for them, Midnight Farms.
Yeah, I heard a lot of things about that.
Oh. Not good.
Jean? Okay, Perez? I can also call Perez.
Yeah, okay.
I can call Perez too. Okay, so Liz has Native and Perez, Midnight Farms, Jean, and Rhonda has Bloomers. So we already know what we need to ask them, give the information to Nancy.
Yeah, let me clarify something. Are we asking them about all of these trees, or are we asking just?
What they have in stock of the 3 that we have chosen.
We haven't chosen those 3.
Yeah, we
No.
haven't said.
Well, so let me direct you guys real quick, just to pay attention to this aspect of it, just because this may change your mind or move in a direction. So there was a scope of work that was also given with this grant. That scope of work, the first task that we were supposed to do as this group was to create flyer. I believe that was already conducted. I think that Nancy put that together. Is that correct, Nancy?
Yes,
The flyer?
yes,
And those were disseminated, those were given out?
yes,
Okay, so that was number 1, that was done.
yes.
The second is the public meetings and presentation. We will only require to have 1 or more, but one
We'll do it.
meeting, okay? Just 1. So we've done that today. We had 4 people in attendance total plus us here. The next deliverable would be to actually purchase the trees. So we don't have to conduct another meeting. That is up to you all if you want to. But if you decide you want to move forward with the 3 that staff recommends based on their longevity and their ease of use and maintenance, then we can do that. And I would take those 3 to get prices on. However, you all could get prices for any of them, and we can plant any of them. But I think the next line is to go ahead and call, get the prices, break it down to one company that we decide based on availability and cost. And then we go ahead and can talk to the commission, let them know that these are the trees. Nancy, do we have room in August for having this as a business item? Just to bring it up, it won't take long.
We should, yes.
Okay, I'll go ahead and have it as a business item on the August 12th meeting for our agenda. We'll go ahead and discuss, and I'll bring up the same presentation that we brought up here in short form and let them know that these are the trees that we have discussed and that you all are working on getting pricing for those trees and that we're ready to move forward, and I'll just make them aware. They've already voted on this, I believe, correct, Nancy? This is something that's already been in the works, so
Yes.
this will just be an update to them. Does it need to go in business or just my report?
I can probably just go and report.
Okay, it'll be in the report, and I'll individually speak to the commissioners about what progress we're making, but we're ready to get those trees. And the sooner you all decide on what company and where we get them from, faster we can get them, we'll get them planted. And right now, we're having rain every day. This is great out here, and hopefully we maintain. I will use this as an example of why we do need to get a water wagon in order to do this, because I don't think, and I wouldn't want this to be the only push we have for trees to be planted in right of ways and other places. There are specific places we need them, so it's important. So, yeah.
So, Rhonda, I guess, they are suggesting the live oak, the
Holly.
Dublin holly, and the East Palatka. I myself like the idea of the Chickasaw plum, maybe a few of them, just because they look so beautiful. Maybe at a park, that needs some beauty, but, that's my thing. So I will ask for the price of a couple of those when I call.
Okay, we can do that.
And you can, maybe if you like another tree, you can call and ask for that tree.
How about we look for at all of them? And then we can
All of
decide.
them?
All of this, I mean, there's only 5?
Yeah,
I mean,
but I just don't like when I see certain
No, there's
diseases
one,
may
2,
require more care
7 trees.
with the true mark oak and the winged elms. Already the word disease, It's the first thing
The
that,
Hollies can get stuff too.
They can, look, they're, everything can. It's just which ones are less likely than the others. Of course, you can see around here, live oaks do pretty well, you know, but they can get sick too. So,
so I'll do that, I'll ask the price for all of them,
yes.
and maybe all of us should do the same.
Well, if we wanted a song, what would you call that, a palm, whatever that palm was?
Palm fronds, which we are not allowed,
We're not
you will
doing
have to
that.
purchase them and
The
donate them.
sable
Patty,
palm.
you
You
can-
can't ask them anyway.
you can ask, you can
Well,
ask,
not in this grant. We can have ponds, we can't have, this grant's already specified.
Okay.
you can leave it on your will, you can leave it on your will to buy a few pounds for the city in your name. We'll name them.
you want to.
We can just find out the prices, might want to buy one some other time.
Do we have any last words from the public? Thank you for being here.
Well, there's a difference between, like Midnight Farm. We all know what that is. There's a difference between you calling and say Keith calling
Yeah,
regarding pricing, et cetera.
at
Well, we
Midnight
tell them
Farms.
we're with the 3 yard board and we're looking for the
Sure.
city.
Because Keith is gonna call somebody he knows there, and they're gonna talk to somebody, and you might be able to get a lot better deal than with one of you calling.
I can say that I'm Keith's assistant, and he asked me to call and check on prices. They don't know.
That would be a good idea. I'm just saying that's one example.
Yes.
I
Well,
think when you dwindle it down to who.
Yeah.
We can get involved at that point, no problem, and plus we're gonna go together once they kind of get where they're gonna go, and we'll have a meeting and just go down there.
we're just scouts, we're not.
yeah, and I can show up with my badge from the women's club at Midnight Farms and say, hey, I'm the tree and garden board chairman, I would like to talk prices. They right there. I have heard a lot about them, I would like to see it with my own eyes. Anybody has anything else? Nope. This meeting is adjourned, thank you for coming.